Boys, today we're going to be doing probably one of the hardest things you can do here on YouTube. Because I've seen people do like open heart surgery. I've seen some brain surgeries on YouTube. This shit's way harder, I'm not going to lie. We are going to go through every single division. And we're going to be looking at the unranked fighters in every division. I'm going to predict one guy who's going to become a future champion. Starting with flyweight, ending in heavyweight. If I miss any guys, or if you guys think there's any other prospects here that are probably going to be champion who are not in the rankings yet, leave it in the comments below. We cannot go through the rankings. That's just cheating. Like I said, this is the hardest thing to do on YouTube. Start off with flyweight. Flyweight, we got Myktybek, Temirov. Now, pretty much, we're going to find out really quickly if this dude is the real deal. I have him here because I do think personally he is the real deal. He is scheduled March 1st, like a month away. He's going to be fighting on UFC Fight Night 253 against Charles Johnson. This is a big test for Temirov, I'm not going to lie. And if he can get past the Charles Johnson test, this is the guy who's outside the ranking who has the biggest chance of being a UFC champion in flyweight. He's fairly well-rounded, and it's crazy because this dude has only been in the UFC for one fight, you know. Am I overglazing him? Probably. He's only fought one time against CJ Vergara, and I'm not gonna lie, CJ Vergara is a decent name to have on your resume. Yes, lately he has been on a little bit of a losing streak, but I think having a CJ Vergara as your first fight in the UFC, I think that's a decent name on your resume. Again, he's fighting Charles Johnson here in about a week. This will decide, in my opinion, whether he is a future prospect / champion or if I just overhype this guy. I think this dude's a real deal. We gotta wait a month to fully find out. Let's keep moving on though. Bantamweight, don't get mad at me because honestly, Bantamweight, I couldn't really find someone other than this dude. And I need you guys to let me know in the comments below. Am I tripping? Because like I said, I couldn't really find anyone else that I think logistically could be a future champion in Bantamweight who isn't already ranked. But I got the boy Chiwiwis here. You know, I got Raul Rosas Jr. You have to have Mr. Chiwiwi here. The thing is, yes, he might not be the greatest right now, but let's just run through his resume in the UFC at least. UFC, he made his debut against Bohovic versus Ankalaev, UFC 282 against J Prim. Honestly, a no-name dude. Who gives a? His second fight was against Christian Rodriguez. I have Christian Rodriguez as a pretty big prospect in that featherweight division because he did move up in weight because he did miss weight for this Chiwiwi's fight. It is what it is. He ended up losing that fight, unanimous decision. Then on a 3-fight win streak against Terrence Mitchell. First round KO. Ricky Takos, second round submission. And then, you know, the Kuei Lang fight. This is like where there's a little bit of an asterisk on here. Again, the reason why I have Chiwiwis here isn't because of his skill set. Yes, he is pretty skilled, I'm not gonna lie. But it's mainly because of his age. He is 20 years old. He is just gonna get better and better every single time we see him in the UFC. Now, maybe this is a little bit far-fetched because we did see him trying to riz up the shorties by doing some ding-dong ditching, but I think Raul Rosas Jr. has a very bright career ahead of him. Like I said, only 20 years old. Imagine this dude in 5-10 years time. I think he's going to be a problem. I think he could be a champion, just not right now. I think, give him a few years, let him mature. Like we saw with Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper started his career very scrawny, not that much strength. Raul Rosas has some decent strength to him. Just wait till he gets some like man strength with him. I think he's the biggest prospect we have right now in this bantamweight division. And he might have the highest ceiling, but I could be wrong. Let me know if I missed someone in bantamweight. Let's go down to featherweight. I would be very surprised if this dude never gets a title shot in his UFC career because I do think he could not only become a champion, but I think he could get a title shot here very soon. I'm talking about the lengthy man himself, the weirdly built Sean Woodson, the sniper. This dude started his career, I wasn't very impressed when he started his career because he got into the UFC after landing a nasty flying knee on Terrence McKinney, but time has shown who isn't doing that to Terrence McKinney. Unanimous decision over Kyle Bokanik. I don't even think that dude's in the UFC anymore. Got submitted versus Juliana Rosa. No fault there. Juliana Rosa is a pretty good fighter in his own right. Then, Yusuf Zalal, split decision. Colin Angan, TKO. Then this one, the Luis Saldana fight. This was probably the where he looked the absolute worst. He looked terrible in this fight. He ended up getting a split draw because a point was taken away because Lewis hit him with an illegal knee because Lewis is a retard. But then after that, he went on a little bit of a tear. You know, I think this is where he's finally figured out how to use his reach to his advantage. And we've seen that in his fight. Ever since then, it's been pretty much a dominant win, whether it be a TKO or a decision. It's been pretty dominant since then. I think Sean Woodson 2025 is going to enter the rankings, and I do see, you know, he's entering his prime right now. He's 32 years old. He has a little bit of time left while he's in his prime. I think we see this dude get a title shot 2026. I think depending on who's champion, we could see him be the new champion. I just think this dude has the best chance of being a champion outside the rankings in the featherweight division. He is just built unfairly, and in his last 4 fights, you have clearly seen that, especially in like his recent fight against Fernando Padilla, who's low-key a little bit of a prospect himself. He showed levels. And yeah, let's keep moving down. I'm not leaving the bandwagon from this guy, even though in his last fight he did end up losing. I'm not leaving this dude. He is going to be a future champion. Mark my words. I'm talking about Ooga Booga himself, Myktybek Orolbai. This dude is a beast. Another thing you need to look out for when you're trying to find prospects and people who you think could become a champion down the line, look at their age. Myktybek Orolbai is only 26 years old. That is insane. Give this dude 4 years, and you're telling me in 4 years' time, not only is he ranked, but he's also right there for a title contender. If not, this dude's champion already. Like, yes, he's only been in the UFC for a short amount of time. First UFC career win, Usyk Medic. That's a great win in my opinion. Then Elvis Brenner, another good win. Went life and death with Mateusz Rebecki, the fight of the year in 2024. You need to... A lot of people said, yeah, Orolbai got fraud checked by Rebecki. Absolutely not. Rebecki right now, look at him. He's 32 years old. This dude is in his prime. When you're looking at someone like an Orolbai, 26 years old, he's not even in his prime yet. Wait till this dude hits his prime. Ooga Booga Caveman himself is running through the entire lightweight division. Let's keep moving down though. Welterweight division. I think this is a sneaky pick. I don't think a lot of people would pick this dude to become a champion down the line, but I got Bryan Battle. I think, yes, say what you want against the fight with Randy Brown, how Bryan Battle didn't look that good. Randy Brown is good himself, you know. Styles make fights, and that Randy Brown fight, it is what it is. Styles make fights. But other than that, his only loss in the UFC is against Rinat Fakhretdinov, and I think Bryan was a little bit too young in that fight, too inexperienced. He's coming into his prime. Like I said, you have to look at these dudes' ages. He's 30 years old. He's coming into his prime. Any moment now, you know, I guarantee we're going to see Bryan Battle enter the top 15 this year, 2025. After that, it's just a matter of time before when he gets a title shot, because I do think out of everybody in the welterweight division, Bryan Battle has one of the best chances of becoming a champion who isn't already ranked in the UFC. Stupidly underrated. People already know that Bryan Battle is good, but I don't think people are recognizing that this dude is championship level good. Plus, we already know that UFC like to market people who have big fan bases, like to market around people who gets views on their post-fight interviews. This dude gets views on his post-fight interviews. Go look at his interview for the Paris fight that he just did against Kevin Jousset. The UFC are going to want to push this dude. Trust. Let's go down. Middleweight division. I'm not going to lie, guys. Middleweight, light heavyweight, and especially heavyweight. Shit's almost nearly impossible because everyone there is not that great. However, with that being said, middleweight division. I have a dude who's been in the UFC for less than a year now, and I just think he has a very good style for this middleweight division to match up against a lot of the top 15, top 10, top 5, even the champion. I got the goofy looking ribs poking out the boy RDR. I think RDR has a solid chance of becoming a champion in the UFC. I don't think he is ranked yet. If he's not ranked right now, he's one win away from entering into the rankings. And like I said, like people were so dumb picking Kevin Holland to beat RDR. I said it. If he can submit GM3, he's submitting Kevin Holland. Granted, I'm a little bit of a retard myself, and I said, you know, Kevin Holland would make it more competitive than what it is. But then I completely forgot Kevin Holland just doesn't care. He only cares what a 45-70 is. He doesn't care about winning, you know, little retard of a thing. But yeah, RDR, he's in his prime right now, 34 years old. Honestly, time's passing by. This dude needs to go on a run right now, and he's coming off a win from Kevin Holland. So I guarantee the UFC's probably going to give him someone in the top 15 for sure. I could even see a top 10 placement. He's literally a few wins away from getting a title shot this year. I think depending on how active he wants to be, he could get a title shot. So far in the UFC, he's fought every 3 months. So, you know, I'm just saying there's a chance that this dude can become champion by the end of the year. Is it likely? Probably not. But honestly, I didn't think anyone else in middleweight had much of a chance like RDR does. Let's move down. Light heavyweight division. Honestly, this might be way too early to say, but I think Mingyang Zhang has the best chance of becoming a champion just because of how dangerous he is. But he could easily get fraud checked once he gets closer to the rankings. But as of right now, light heavyweight and heavyweight is complete garbage. It's hard to pick anybody to become champion. And we don't know much about Zhang because this dude has only, in his UFC career, he's only been in the first round, never the second. His whole career actually has only been, I don't think he's ever been to a decision in his entire career. Yeah, I don't think so. Second round, oh no. One of his losses, his third loss, he lost by decision. So he has been to the decision before, but look at this dude's career. Most of them is first round. And to be honest, he's just screaming to be fraud checked. But at the same time, you know, we could easily see this dude become champion. Because honestly, heavyweight has some of the weakest IQ fighters in the entire sport. But heavyweight division, mark my words, the title run starts now. I'm talking about Beast Boy himself, Chris Barnett. Now, yes, you're thinking, what are you talking about? Chris Barnett literally got TKO'd earlier last year by kicks to his big ass stomach. We don't talk about that shit right now. This dude is going to start doing spinning back fists, spinning wheel kicks. He's going to start doing backflips, front flips. He's going to become a champion. Mark my words. In all due reality, there's no one in heavyweight that I can see right now becoming champion who's outside the rankings. They're all garbage. But if there's someone that I missed, let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think of these fighters? Do you guys think any of these dudes actually have a realistic shot of becoming champion? And yeah, there's really not that much else left to say except for I will see you guys in my next video.